Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Online Course Secrets podcast. Today we're going to talk about how to best market and sell your online course. So this is the third and final part of this three-part series that we've done the last couple of weeks on how to build your community, how to create your course, and now finally we're going to be talking about how to make sales. So before we dive in, if you're listening to this podcast outside our Facebook group, Online Course Secrets, I invite you to join. It's on Facebook. Just search for Online Course Secrets or click the link in the post. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts, and that will take you to our community. And that way you can interact with me live during these trainings, because we're doing these once a week and we're doing them live, and I'm taking questions and I'm helping you out, and it's just way more fun when it's interactive, and you get to watch the video as well. So I invite you to join the Facebook group if you haven't already, and if you are in the Facebook group and you're watching this live and you would like the guide that I'll be walking you through today, then just comment guide below and I'll make sure to reach out to you. So with that said, let's dive in. First, we're going to do a quick recap on what we've talked about the last couple of weeks, and then we're going to really dive deep into marketing and sales and what I believe to be the absolute best way for you to make sales when you're just getting started. So I'm going to share with you how I did this and everything I was struggling with until I started doing it like this, and how everything just kind of took off once I took this approach. And it's a conversational approach. It's all about having a great feedback loop. So I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. So let's dive in and do the recap and see where we are, and then we're gonna really break this down. Okay? So making sales, that's the topic for today. So what have we talked about? Well, first we talked about really making everything we can in our power to avoid the big mistake. The big mistake, as you may know by now, is to create your course first and then try to sell it, right? So the reason that doesn't work is because it's basically gambling. If what you have created is what people want, and if you have something, for you to find the exact person that wants that exact thing, that's gonna take some luck, pretty much. On the other hand, if you find someone first, ask them exactly what it is they want and need, and then say, okay, let me just fix that for you. You go to work and then you offer it to them, and even better, you can create it by working together with them. Then that becomes much more valuable to that person, and you're much more likely to make a sale and actually help this person, right? So this is all about gathering an audience of people that have the problem that you solve. We do that first, and by doing that, we're solving several problems all at once. Most importantly, one, you're getting potential people to offer your course to, right? So you're getting potential customers, you're getting an audience that you can nurture and offer things to over time, right? So that's number one. Number two is you're doing the market research by helping people. So you're not just having an audience and just waiting, you're actually helping them. And by doing that, you're starting to get people will share with you what they're struggling with, their pain points, etc., etc., etc. And that allows you to better understand what it is they want and need, because that's what we're trying to figure out, right? And at the same time, you're helping them. So you are positioning yourself as the solution to their problem, which takes time, right? So it takes time for people. People need to see you over and over and over again over a long period of time. Not everyone needs that, but a vast majority of people need that in order for the sale to happen as frictionless as possible, right? In order to build the trust, in order for people to understand that you're passionate about helping them, and you're passionate and willing, so passionate and able, right? Competent. It's not just that you want to help people, it's that you can actually do it, right? So after that, that's when we start focusing on sales. So this is what we call the big solution. Build an audience first, understand what they want and need, position yourself correctly, market research, and then create the exact offer that they're asking for, right? Okay, so that's what we covered the first week. And then we started talking about how do you then gather an audience? Well, we all start by clarifying your mission statement of who you help, what is the problem you solve, and what is the desired outcome that you enable for people. What is it that's so valuable that you're helping people to reach, to achieve, right? Once you're clear about that, you can go to the next step, which is then to create a community for the exact people you help to come and learn how to overcome the exact problem they need help with, so that they can get the exact thing that they're looking for. It's by matching these things we can really become a magnet and start drawing people in rather than going out and chasing people. So we need all these things. We need to understand how people identify themselves. We need to understand what it is that's keeping them up at night. What is it that's like, oh, if I could just solve this, if I could just have this taken care of, if only I didn't have this problem, right? And then what is it that they're ultimately looking for? What is that ultimate desire? What will it result in if they don't have the problem that's bothering them so much, right? So we're building a community for those exact people to come and connect with others that are on the same transformation, that are looking for help and support, and that are to be able to celebrate their wins, connect, network, all that kind of stuff. All the benefits of being inside a community. This is how we create that ultimate lead magnet for you. Even if you're a complete beginner, then no one knows who you are, because you're offering something other than yourself. You're offering belonging for the exact people that you are looking to get in touch with, right? Okay, so we talked a bit about how to set up your Facebook group in the best way, and how to start doing the market research, and how to start positioning yourself correctly by having the right membership questions. And again, if you would like, if you're watching this in the Facebook group, you can just comment guide in the comments, and I'll reach out to you and make sure you get this guide that I'm walking you through. Okay, so then what did we talk about? Well, then we talked about creating early engagement, because we want people talking, because when people talk, they're sharing what they want and what they need and what they're struggling with, and that's your opportunity to help them as well. Because when people are talking, you can talk with them, you can share what you are doing to solve the problem while building up that know, like, and trust factor, right? And this is really where we start mapping out what your ideal client's current situation is, what their desired situation is, what is it that they're currently doing that's not working for them, that they're not doing correctly, right? And what is the alternative? What is your method? And we're going to talk soon about that. Your method on how to help them go from where they are to where they want to be, right? So this is where you start both shaping your message and getting it out there and getting a feedback loop going. What is it that's working? What is it that people are responding to? And what is it that's not working? So we're starting conversations both in private and in public, okay? So then we went... last week we started talking about how to create and launch your online course, and that all started with having a framework, having a method. And again, if you have any questions, if something isn't clear here, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to get back to you. Okay, so we all start with a framework where we share how we ourselves went from point A to point B, and how we, ideally speaking, have helped our clients to do so as well, right? So don't worry if you're just getting started and you don't have that many testimonials. As long as you have done this, you can start offering your help, and people that are interested in getting your help because they believe that you would be a good match, a good client teacher match. They're gonna be interested in talking with you about working together, right? Okay. So your method is basically dividing up this big problem into its different phases and steps, so that you can guide someone step by step from their current situation to their desired situation. That's the whole idea of having a transformational online course, which is the kind of online course that you can charge more for, and that actually helps people, because it's actually about solving a problem and reaching a desired result. Okay, Once you have your method, you actually have everything you need to go ahead and launch your course. And this is where I last week talked with you about the wave launch strategy, which is a way to launch your course without having to wonder how much you should charge for it, and by creating natural scarcity and urgency. So we do that by offering your we're talking about it in terms of a program. So it's something like, hey, when this program is finished, it's going to cost $2,000-3,000, but right now, because I just launched it, I'm offering it at a 90% discount, but only for the first 10 people. And I'm doing this because I want to work with you directly, get you fantastic results. I want to collect case studies for my marketing. And so this is for you if you are ready to get going and you want direct help from me. And then you explain that the main value of this is that you're going to be coaching them directly once a week, and then create the online course by working together with them. So that's how you can launch this right away before you have started to record any content. This is also how you don't risk creating content for months and months and months and then not actually making sales, right? So it's all about working together with the people that are paying you. So then we talked a bit more about how do we coach people, how do we do group coaching, and I shared with you how I do this and how I recommend you to do this. It's basically weekly group coaching, collecting questions from your students, helping them, asking them how their week has been, if they're stuck somewhere, if they have a plan for next week, helping them to really stay on track of following your method that you should have on paper by this time, and then asking them what it is their need and figuring that out exactly, right, together with them on what kind of course content is it that you want to be creating, and adding to the course portal so that they have all the trainings they need, all the resources, all the help necessary in addition to your weekly group coaching, so that they can get the results they're looking for as fast as possible, right? And this is so crucial that you really help your clients, right? And that brings us to today. Now at this time, you have a great offer, and there's scarcity and urgency. We're ready to help people. You have attracted the right people. You have a growing audience. You have a clear message. You have it's all there, right? It's all about making sales now. And now I want to share with you basically the approach that I took, why I took it, and how you can take it as well. And this did everything for me. I would not be where I am today if I didn't use this approach. And in many ways it's not, I've seen similar approaches. It's just that I've combined the best from all worlds, that all the different programs that I've been in, and just seen what works and what doesn't, and then having tried it myself for hundreds of times in different ways, this is basically what the conclusion I've come to, and this is how I help my clients to make sales. So before we dive deeper here, I want to emphasize a couple of things. First of all, that this is not a get rich quick thing. This requires work. The upside with this is that everyone can do it. You don't need to have any sort of special talent to do this. You need to want to help people, and you need to want to help yourself. And you really wanna have that go in you to want to get things done, right? And there also needs to be a mentality here where you don't want to take unnecessary shortcuts too early. Because frankly speaking, this is one of the major issues that people run into from my experience, is that they try to skip steps and they try to sell immediately on a webinar or a sales page or some other sort of like a workshop or a challenge or something like that, when they don't have their fundamentals in order. So the fundamentals is having that clear message about who it is you help, how is this negatively affecting them to stay where they are? What would it mean for them if they could get to their desired outcome? What is it that they're trying that's not working for them? How long have they tried that? Why isn't that working for them? Why is that approach not the way to go? for the people that you help, right? So the foundations, you cannot just grab them out of a hat like it's some sort of, rabbit at a magic show, right? It doesn't work like that. If you are a beginner and you're getting your foundations in place and you're not making 10, 20, $30,000 a month, and even after that, I still think that this approach is the way to go. But especially in the beginning, the trick is that you need to have a feedback loop. You need to be talking with people, right? So for that reason, what I'm about to share with you might not look scalable, but it is. Okay, and I'm going to explain at the end why. But in the beginning, it's going to look like it requires a lot of work. And it does. It does require a lot of work. But it's necessary in order to get the foundations in place. Okay, so I'm not gonna sit here and say that this is so simple and so easy and that you don't need to do anything and you're gonna make a lot of sales, because that's not the truth, right? This requires work, but the payoff is fantastic. It's I'm gonna give you some examples of what you can expect once everything is in place as well. So it's all about talking with people. So therefore, what we want to do when people enter your world, when people enter your community or become friends with you on Messenger or respond to your content or like your content or any sort of excuse you have to message people on Messenger, take it, right? Talk with people. Because when you're talking with people, in the beginning it can be a bit hard, but once you get into it and people start seeing your content, etc., people are going to want to talk with you. And when they are talking with you, they're open to sharing what they're struggling with. You're giving them help, advice, etc. They're sharing with you why that worked or why that didn't work or why they tried that in the past, etc. So you're doing all the market research while you're building that know, like, and trust factor and building that relationship and really understanding what it is that's going on with them so that you can properly help them in the best way possible. You can handle sales objections while talking with them, which is something you can't do on a sales page, right? Because that's a one-way communication thing. Of course, there's pros and cons with everything, but this is really how you want to start. People, even if you have the best sales page ever, it's like a 3% conversion rate at most. And we're talking about creating a sort of offer or course here that you can sell for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for. So what you want to do is you really want to talk with people. Then we're going to talk soon about how to do that. Basically, you want to talk with people in such a way where they're interested in getting on the phone with you, right? And we use a two-step sales system, which is basically conversation, talking with people on Messenger, then inviting them for more help on a 15-minute call where we don't offer anything, we don't sell anything during that 15-minute call. That is basically just to go deeper and realize if we can help them or not. And then at the end of that call, we basically just ask, hey, based on what we've talked about, are you looking for professional help with this, or do you want to try this on your own? At this point, we will have given them a plan of what to do, etc. So it's always win-win-win for everyone involved. And a lot of people say, I want to try this on my own. And a lot of people say, no, I think I need help with this. What would that look like? And then we would say something like, great, I also think you need help with this, if we think that. Always the truth, right? Let's book in a longer call and talk about working together, go deeper into the strategy and look at what that would look like. Take a look at what it would look like for us to work together, right? So we would book in the longer call, and then between the short call and the long call, that's where we send them to a page with more free training, case studies, testimonials, information about the program, all the, to really prepare someone as much as it's possible between the calls so that we can focus on the calls, on the things that actually matter, right? So how do you do this? How do you have a conversation with someone where, let me just make sure if we're getting any comments here. Okay, if you have any questions, just go ahead and post them in the comments. So how do we do this? Well, we need to focus on what we call the 4 R's. Okay, and what are those? So the 4 R's are, the 4 R's are, R number 1 is reality. Okay, so when you're talking with someone, you're trying to figure out where they are right now. How is that affecting them? What's going on? What is it that they're, what does their situation look like? Then we're trying to figure out what is their desired outcome, their desired result. So that's the second R, reality, result. Result is what is it that they want, right? What is it that they're fighting for? What is it that they're striving toward, right? And then we're figuring out, is there a roadblock here? Is there that's the third R. Is there something standing in their way of going from their reality to their result, right? And if there is, we go to the fourth R, which is making the right offer, okay? And the right offer in this case would be, hey, I think I can help you with this. Would you be open to getting some more guidance and advice on this? And if they say yes, we would say, great, here's what I suggest. Why don't we get on a 15-minute short Zoom this week, and I can answer your questions directly, share with you how myself and my clients are doing this and how I think you can do this as well. Would you be open to that? And they would say, yes, sure, and then you book in the call, right? So those are the 4 R's. So that's step number 1 for you to market and sell your course, is to talk with people on Messenger, figure out what they want and need, make the right offers, get on the phone with people, talk with people directly, record these calls, take notes, really start mapping out exactly what it is everyone is struggling with, what they want, what they need, everything, right? Okay. So how do we then do this on the phone? So once you get on the phone with them, it's all about having a clarifying conversation with them. And what this means is that we basically do the 4 R's again, but we go deeper. We start looking at more things that we haven't covered during the messenger conversation, right? So it can be, well, how long have you tried this? Well, what have you tried in the past? Why do you think that didn't work? So we're really trying to get a complete picture here. That's during the short call. Now, during the long call, this is really where we go as deep as we possibly can. It's still the 4 R's. Now we're asking more emotional questions. So we're asking things like, well, you shared with me that you're stuck here and you've been stuck here for some time, and what I'm wondering now is how is that affecting you? Like, what do you feel it's costing you to stay there? And realistically speaking, how would it feel for you if you didn't get help with this? And we're really asking a lot of deeper questions that start touching on the emotional, right? So we can see if this is actually something that they're looking for or not, if this is actually important for them or not. If it's not important for them, don't charge them or don't even offer your program, right? If it is important, I would say it's your obligation to offer them your help, right? It's a moral obligation to help someone if you can help them, and it's crucial and it's important for them and you can do it, right? So selling on the phone really is about going through the 4 R's, but going deeper and deeper and deeper, depending on if you're on the short call or on the longer call, and really figuring out what it is exactly that they're looking for and that they need, so that you can make that perfect offer at the end. Of course, there's scripts and guidelines and everything on how to do this, but at the end of the day, what you want to really do here is handle sales objections before they even arise. So asking questions like, before we talk about working together, can I, do you see any reason why we wouldn't be starting to work together if we are a good fit, if everything makes sense from here on out? Is there something stopping you from signing up today? And if they say yes, you deal with that before you move on, right? So you don't end up in a situation where you offer your course and then they say, I need to think about it, or blah, 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 or all sorts of, rationalizations for why they want to stay in their comfort zone, right? Okay, so this is a topic that we could talk about for years, pretty much, but but I think you get the main gist of it, right? Okay. So finally, once you get this whole thing going and everything is working great, now it's time to do what you're doing, but to do it in public as well, right? So you're not just talking with people in private, you're talking with people through your free content. So at this time, you've listened, you've been on calls with people, you've heard what they're struggling with, you've heard what's not working for them, etc., etc., etc. And now you can go and you can address their limiting beliefs and their sales objections and things that they're wondering, and all the things that you find yourself needing to explain to make a sale. Now you can do that in public. Okay? So, and in public, I first and foremost mean in your Facebook group. And this is, ads come later, but at this point we really want to just make sure that we get this working on the organic level inside your Facebook group, on your Facebook profile, your email list, and then you can start adding other channels as you move forward. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, etc., etc., etc. But we need to get it working first inside your Facebook group, your profile, and your email list. Like those three are enough. And even the email list isn't crucial, it just helps. Okay. So your free content then, what is it supposed to do? Well, I've tried a lot of different approaches, and I've tried not sharing the strategies. I've tried to just talk about the what and the why, and then only and keep the how secret. And I find that to not work. I just don't think it works anymore. So I'm just sharing everything I know. I share all my strategies. It's all there. It's all free. Because frankly speaking, if you can do it on your own without my help, I really want you to go for it, right? If you feel that you need my help and that you need help with the implementation, the support, the accountability, being able to ask me questions, etc., 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 which I think that for most of my ideal clients is the case, then it doesn't really matter that I give you the whole strategy. You're not going to be able to do anything with it anyway unless you get my help, right? And if you're serious about solving your problem, which my ideal client is, you're going to want to reach out and get my professional help with this. And the same is true for you. So don't be scared of sharing your strategies, etc., etc. What I find happens when we start putting the brakes on is that we start getting scared of sharing what we know. We're constantly, it's like we have this wall where we're constantly trying to figure out what we should be talking about and what we shouldn't be talking about. And I just don't think it works. When you're new and you're just getting started, just help people as much as you possibly can, and then offer people your help to implement what you've been talking about, right? So I believe that free content, if we were to divide it into three main categories, you need to share your strategies, your methods of how it is you help people, what it is you do, how it would look like, what it would look like to work with you, what is the strategy that you would adopt, what it is you can help people with, and why you can help them with this, right? And frankly speaking, that should be your expertise, helping people day in and day out with these strategies. So you're going to feel much at home talking about this, right? Not everyone is a natural marketer, right? Okay. The second category of free content that I believe to be necessary and really, really helpful are stories, right? So if you just give people strategies and not share stories of how this helped you and how this helped your clients, etc., people cannot see the meaning of it, and they cannot remember it, and they cannot relate to it, and we are first and foremost driven by listening to stories, right? So this is crucial. It's like, you think of it, you have the logical side of the brain, which is the strategies, the how-to, the formulas, the methods, the systems, all those kind of things. And then you got the emotional side of the brain, which are the stories, the meaning, the context, the timelines, all those kind of things. And those two work the best when you interweave them together, right? So what this does is that it sends a clear signal that you are willing and able, right? So willing because you share your stories of how you did this, how you helped other people, how you are inspired to help people, etc., etc., etc. And able because you're sharing with people with confidence and conviction your strategies and methods and formulas, and they make sense for the people listening to you, right? Now, the third and final category of content are offers, right? So don't think of, I wouldn't recommend you to think of these as three different, completely separate types of content. It's more that your free content has different aspects of all of it, right? So for instance, in this training video, I'm sharing with you the strategies of how to create and sell your course. And I'm sharing with you the meaning and the stories behind that I was struggling with. Before, until I started talking with people, I was like banging my head against the wall because I didn't know why I wasn't selling. I tried webinars, I tried sales pages, etc. And I couldn't even figure out why it wasn't working. So it was impossible for me to improve upon it. Therefore, I believe that having a feedback loop is the number one thing. And in this context, it means talking with people. Therefore, I went the route of having conversations with people on Messenger and on Zoom. And that's what made it work for me. Okay, and that's what made it work for my clients. And that's why I think it would work for you as well. Okay, and the offer in this video is, there's different offers. So offer number one is join the Facebook group if you're not in it already, if you're listening to this outside the Facebook group, so you can interact with me directly. Make sure to tune in next week. We go live every week. If you want the guide that I'm showing you here on the screen, go ahead and comment guide below. So can you tell it's not just one offer. You can stack them and you can do multiple offers in your free trainings, right? Or if you're creating an offer post or whatever it is, right? Okay, so what you want your free content to do is to give away the strategies that you and your clients use. Just give it away, just give it all away, right? So you really want to share with people without overwhelming them with technical information, right? Because then people feel like, oh, I can't do it, etc. And then they're not going to end up asking for help. You can do this, right? It's just going to be a lot easier if you get help for most of you. That's the secret to this, right? So that's number one. Give away the strategies that you and your clients use. Number two, share stories of how those strategies have helped you and your clients. And number three, make the offers for those people that are interested in more of your help, right? So, and in the guide here, I share with you an example of what that looks like. So in one of my social media posts, I basically just asked my audience, hey, who would like my help to grow a profitable Facebook group? And because I position myself as the solution to that problem, and I've been doing free content and I've been sharing strategies, etc. already, when I ask that question, we get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people raising their hand. And then we use this content to start conversations with these people. And then from there, we identify who's actually serious about growing a profitable Facebook group. And then we help them. And they end up wanting our help. And this, in this particular example, we made 7 sales in 1 week, which resulted in $21,000, right? So this is how we use content. This is how we use conversations. This is how we help people, how we invite them to get on a call with us so we can help them. And then if they want more help and we think we might be a good fit, we book in a longer call there. We make sure we are a good fit. And then we offer help inside our main offer. That's how this whole thing works. That's the path I took, and that's the path that worked for me and how I help my clients with this. I hope you enjoyed. We're gonna wrap this up now. Final invitation I have for you here. Well, first of all, if you want the guide, if you're watching this inside my Facebook group and you want the guide, just comment guide below. If you feel like I was talking about you when I shared about people that see the meaning of this and they want to try this. You want to try this, and you see that it makes sense to get guidance, help, mentorship, accountability, and get the full help of exactly how to implement this in your business. Then how I can help you from here is for you to book in a free 15-minute call with me. So it's the exact same thing that I've shared with you in this training. It's completely free. You're not signing up for anything. You're not committing to anything. Leave your credit card at home. I'm not going to ask you to buy anything. This is just to help you for where you are. And the reason I do this is because if two of you book a call, about one of you is going to ultimately join my program, right? So it's fine if you come to the call and you realize that this is not for you. That's completely okay. I'll then give you more free training and share with you what I believe to be the best path forward, even if you and I aren't working together. And there's just nothing to lose here, right? It's 15 minutes, completely free. And you can book in your call with me. It's with me, not one of my team members, at onlinecoursesecrets.com/call. I should say at the time of this recording, because if you're listening to this in a few, in a year's time or something, I might have delegated this to a team member or something, right? So it's onlinecoursesecrets.com/call, and there you can just book in your preferred day and time, and we can talk on Zoom. We can take a look at what it is you're currently doing, what might be standing in your way. What we usually look at is how are you gathering your leads? What does your offer look like? Where are you in the process of creating and launching your online course? And how are you currently trying to get clients, and is that working for you or not? Where can we help you? And if we think we can help you, if I think I can help you, I'll share with you what I would do in your position. I can share with you how I do this in more detail, and I can share with you how I help my clients with this. And you're not obligated, but if it makes sense for both of us, we can book in a longer call. But again, there's no pressure on you to buy anything. Don't bring your credit card, anything like that. These 15 minutes are just to help you, and they also help me because I get to do market research and I get to better understand my ideal clients while helping you at the same time. So it's a win-win-win situation. That's the whole idea here. Okay, so if you don't know who I am by this time or what I do, or I can share with you that I have a high-ticket program. We have about 180 clients right now. So what I'm sharing with you here works. I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these calls, and I've kind of learned what works and what doesn't work, and found a way to do this. And we got this under control now, how to build an audience, how to create and launch a course, and how to market and make sales. So that's our specialty. That's what we do, and that's what I can help you with. And if you're looking for that help, go ahead and book your free 15-minute call with me at onlinecoursesecrets.com/call. We'll talk on Zoom, and I'll give you my recommended steps. We'll put together a plan for you on what I would do if I was in your shoes, and exactly why. I'll answer your questions, etc. You're not obligated to anything, and then we'll see where we go from there. Thank you for watching. This concludes the 3-part training we did here. I'm not sure yet what we're going to do starting next week, but it's probably going to be fun. So I urge you to come to these live trainings. And final thing here, if you are in my program, we're starting the next group coaching call in 15 minutes. So if you're in the step-by-step program, we're starting the next group coaching call in 15 minutes. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.